So, which sin are we talking about today? We're talking about the sin of envy. So, one young married woman here has given me permission to share how she's really struggling that she's not able to have children yet. So, every time she sees some friends, they give birth, or someone talks about how beautiful children are, her heart sinks. And she wonders, why won't God the Father give her children? It's something good. And whenever people try to cheer her up and they say, well, God is calling you to be a spiritual mother, she says that doesn't do anything for her whatsoever. It doesn't fill the heart. So her pain is real, it's normal. And I think all of us should acknowledge whatever pain we're feeling. If we want something good and don't get it, let's say we want to get married, we want to be healthy, we want to have financial security. But then there's that sin of envy. We're not happy for other people when they get what we want, and there's something wrong with that. And so we can understand the experience of the older brother in the gospel. He's in the field working, he approaches the house, he hears the celebration. A slave tells him, well, your younger brother has come. And you've got to understand the way Jesus depicts the younger brother, he's truly depicted as an awful person. That's the point of the parable. And so the celebration's for him. And so the older brother tells the father, listen, for all these years, I've been working like a slave for you, and I have never disobeyed your command. Yet you have never given me even a young goat so that I might celebrate with my friends. But when this son of yours came back, who has devoured your property with prostitutes, you killed a fatted calf for him. So he perceives an injustice. Now it'd be one thing if his younger brother got equal to him, but he actually gets more than him. And so that hurts even more. So the first step in overcoming our sin of envy is just to acknowledge whatever pain you feel. So never insult God, but be honest with him. Tell him what hurts. Tell him what you desire. And then the second step, ask him the question sincerely looking for an answer. Father, why don't you give me something good? It seems like everyone else gets it. Why won't you give it to me? And then you want to listen for the answer. Okay, and the answer starts here. It says, his father came out and began to plead with him. So God the Father, represented here, if he didn't love the older son, he wouldn't do that. He actually humbles himself, goes out of the house, and he pleads with his older son. So the father loves both children equally. But the older son, he can't perceive it yet. And then his words reveal the heart. And this is what we want to focus on today, these words of the Father. He says, son, you are always with me, and all that is mine is yours. Let's break this down. So when the word son is used, and of course daughter, that's showing God the Father's love for us. So we're not slaves. But here's the thing you have to understand about being a son and daughter of God. What does that mean? In the letter to the Hebrews, it says this, God is treating you as children. For what child is there whom a parent does not discipline? So if you're going to be a child of God the Father, he's going to discipline you, right? Why? Because that's good for you. Now, we all know, if you see spoiled children, they often don't turn out well, right? Because they can't handle adversity. So God the Father doesn't give us everything we want. He gives us everything we need. And so it raises the question, what do you really need? And you have to think about it in terms of eternity, because he won't even give you everything you need for this life. So if there's a baby born with deformities or without limbs, or you have children who die, that is a tremendous suffering. But in light of eternity, could I ask, do you need good health for eternity? Do you need a long life for eternity? Because that's God the Father's vision. So look at Jesus. He's the Father's only son. He doesn't even get everything good. So if we ask ourselves, hey, well, why don't I get those good things? Jesus could easily say, well, I didn't get it. Jesus never had a safe childhood. He didn't have a long life. He didn't have a good death, a peaceful one. So why do you expect something from the Father when Jesus didn't get it? The Father in the parable says, you are always with me. That's a good thing. But the son doesn't see that as a gift. It's really interesting. The son actually says to his father, "You didn't even give me a young goat so that I could celebrate with my friends." He doesn't want to celebrate with his dad. That's not important to him. That's very revealing. It would be one thing if he said, "Well, you didn't give me anything so that we could celebrate together." No. Being with God is not good enough for him. So here's the central question for today. When you're envious about something, God says, "Am I enough for you?" That's the question. Is having God enough for us? Like in the end, financial security is not going to make a difference in eternity. Everyone's going to die. Health won't matter. Even, I'm sorry to say, our children will die. So is having God enough for us? In heaven, we're going to have God alone, and that will be more than enough. Now, some people might say, well, hang on, in heaven, I'm just going to have God. That's not enough. Wait. We even know people here on earth who are dirt poor, and yet they're happy. Have you seen people like that? Like they have nothing. And they say, well, we're still happy. We still have this incredible family, and they're being honest. Finally, the Father says, all that is mine is yours. I love that. Because everything God the Father has, he's given to Jesus. And everything Jesus has, he's given to me. And right now I'm talking personally. That explains why I'm not given everything I want. Jesus isn't given everything, if you will, humanly speaking, that he'd want, but he gives me everything I need. That makes sense. All that is God's is mine. And so this brings us to the sin of envy. Can't we be happy for other people? Like, aren't we all brothers and sisters? Like, wouldn't it be good? Like, if people get something good, shouldn't you be happy for them? Like I've told you before, I've never been envious of my two older brothers. When they get something that I don't, I'm happy for them because I love them. If their victory is my victory, their blessing is my blessing. The father says to the older son, we had to celebrate and rejoice because this brother of yours is dead and has come to life. He was lost and has been found. So let's be happy for other people. It's good when they receive something good. I told you once before, for those who are kind of new here, you know, when I was in the seminary and my older brother and his girlfriend came up to visit us, I was surprised. I wasn't envious of them. And when they left, I remember thinking, they've got each other and I have God. And my heart was full because I really felt so blessed. And nothing could take that. So today, I do want you to wrestle with that question. Is God enough for you? I'm not going to tell you how great life is with him because you have to go through your own suffering to let go of what you want and to receive all that God wants to give you. I've gone through that suffering. I know the pain of not getting married. I also know the joy of being filled by God alone. It's better. But you have to go through it yourself, and you will find the peace and the fullness of life, that happiness, that satisfaction. You're going to find it mainly in prayer. So in 2 weeks, we've got Holy Week, the holiest time of the year. And what I'd invite you to do is on Holy Thursday, we've got adoration downstairs all through the night. I'm going to invite you, if you want to come that night, be alone with Jesus and bring your pain to him and listen to his answer. So there's a message God the Father has for each of us, and it is along the lines of this: Son, daughter, you are always with me, and all that is mine is yours.